Well, everyone, the iPhone 17 Pro has officially came out, so I wanted to go ahead and do another comparison and see how the iPhone 17 Pro holds up against the iPhone 12 Pro. Now, there's a couple things to keep in mind here. Number one, the iPhone 17 Pro is a overall better iPhone in almost every single way than the iPhone 12 Pro. So if you are trying to get the better iPhone here, it definitely makes a lot more sense to go and buy something like an iPhone 17 Pro. But is it necessarily worth the money? Should you go and upgrade to that phone, or are there other phones that are comparable that you should also go and upgrade to? We'll go ahead and talk about all those things throughout this whole entire video, but if you do want to go through and pick up either one of these particular types of devices, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of these particular phones. The iPhone 12 Pro originally came out back in 2020, and this phone on the front side is basically giving you a standard, 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. Now, this type of panel, for the most part, it's not like a terrible panel. It's not even like a bad panel. I think it is giving you like a decent type of experience for the most part. And if you are about to go through and pick up a device, I do feel like Apple did a good job for this type of phone. Keep in mind, it is a little bit of an older type of styling of a panel. That's kind of one of those big things to keep in mind there, because it isn't necessarily like, the latest and greatest panel anymore, but it isn't a terrible panel anymore either. And I would imagine that if you're going to go through and pick up a device like this, you're still going to be able to get like an okay type of experience, right? 6.1 inches. It's giving you a standard type of experience that you'd probably imagine. So, and again, it could be way worse, so to speak. So definitely from that side, it's a good enough panel for it being like 5 years old. With something like the iPhone 17 Pro though, this one is definitely going to be giving you, I would say, a way better panel in almost every single way imaginable. The iPhone 17 Pro is going to be giving you a larger 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. This one is an LTPO panel, so it's already a little bit better. It's a bigger size screen, less bezel on it. You're getting, an always-on display, a dynamic island display, so it's actually a hole punch. And the biggest thing is you're getting a Pro Motion display there too. The iPhone 12 Pro was the last Pro iPhone that did not give you any sort of, Pro Motion display on it. So it's just a standard 60 Hz display, which is kind of a downside, right? Like if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, you'd expect it to be a little better. And even in 2020, Apple, there were a lot of phone manufacturers who made 120 Hz displays, but Apple didn't bring it in until 2021. So you do kind of miss out on that on the 12 Pro. The iPhone 17 Pro is also giving you 3000 nits of peak brightness. So a much brighter panel on the iPhone 17 Pro, which is another really good, really big advantage for that type of device when it comes down to it as well. So I'm a big fan of that type of device when it comes down to it. And if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, I definitely do think something like an iPhone 17 Pro is definitely going to be a really good option here for sure. USB Type-C on the iPhone 17 Pro, Lightning on the iPhone 12 Pro. The rest of the bodies, honestly, there could be some cases made where the 12 Pro feels more like a flagship because of the stainless steel sides and, that type of capability. But, I think the iPhone 17 Pro feels still really, really good. On the backside, kind of aluminum build on the 17 Pro. 12 Pro is giving you this frosted glass back all throughout, which is also another really nice thing for that type of device too, which is something that's really cool. And then triple camera setups on both, wireless charging on both as well, reverse wire charging on the 17 Pro, which is a nice feature. And definitely when you're kind of taking a look at these types of devices, I definitely do think these types of phones are very good. You're getting a really good type of experience between them. And, depending on who you are, if you are going to go through and pick up a phone, like I said before, it definitely makes a lot of sense to go look at both of these because they're, the 17 Pro is as a successor to the 12 Pro, but the 12 Pro doesn't cost $1,000 anymore. This phone probably costs roughly around maybe $200 or $300 nowadays. It's substantially cheaper. The iPhone 17 Pro is like $1,200 or $1,100. That's a pretty expensive price to pay for a phone like that. When there's other options out there, like an iPhone 17, like an iPhone 16 Pro that's cheaper, an iPhone, 15 Pro, even a jump from an iPhone 12 Pro to a 14 Pro is also a pretty big jump when it comes down to it from that side as well. So kind of keep that in mind when it kind of comes down to it from that particular side too. Now, on top of that, I think another really important thing to keep in mind here as well is the cameras. So the cameras on these things are also still kind of good, they're good, but the 17 Pro's camera is substantially better here. So the 12 Pro's camera, triple camera setup on the backside, 4K at 60 on the front of the back, it's a good type of camera. It's not really going to be anything super crazy, and I feel like you are definitely going to be getting a good type of experience here for the most part, right? Like, definitely something like an iPhone 17 Pro. I feel like it's still it's not even close. That one's going to be a way better camera. But something like an iPhone 17 Pro, 4K at 120, 8x zoom, it's a really good camera inside of the iPhone 17 Pro, substantially better than something like an iPhone, 12 Pro. So if you are trying to get the phone that's going to be giving you that better type of experience, it definitely is going to be from something like an iPhone, 17 Pro. It's going to be a really big jump, and if I were you, I would definitely go through and pick up a device like that because it is going to be substantially better when it kind of comes down to it from that side as well. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there too. When it kind of comes down to their software longevity, this is also going to be another very big aspect and another very big takeaway for these types of devices as well. Because if you're trying to get the device that is going to be giving you an overall better experience, the iPhone 12 Pro is just not going to be lasting as long in terms of software compared to the iPhone 17 Pro. So the 17 Pro, if you are trying to go through and get that better type of experience here, that one is going to be giving you a longer lasting phone, definitely when it comes down to it. Also, when it comes down to their batteries, the iPhone 17 Pro is giving you 33 hours of video playback, where the 12 Pro is giving you 17 hours of video playback. I did my own experiment, my own testing, and even from a 13 Pro that had better battery life than a 12 Pro, that one was lasting like half as long as an iPhone 17 Pro, probably even less than half as long on iOS 26. So that was also another very big takeaway too. I felt like that phone was giving me a much better experience on the iPhone 17 Pro than the iPhone 12 Pro when it came down to it. So that right there is going to be another very big takeaway from a device as well. And finally, when it comes down to the performance, the iPhone 12 Pro is giving you the Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 17 Pro is basically giving you that, A19 Pro chipset inside with 12 gigabytes of RAM. So twice the amount of RAM inside of that iPhone. That iPhone on the iPhone 17 Pro is going to be very fast, substantially faster than the iPhone 12 Pro. And because of that ProMotion display, the iPhone 12 Pro just doesn't feel like it's as fast as something, even like a 120 hertz like iPhone 13 Pro. Like that's just kind of what ends up happening here. And that's kind of the main problem with the iPhone 12 Pro, is that it is kind of outdated when it kind of comes down to it from that side, because it's just not going to hold up that well. So although, albeit it's not the biggest deal in the world, the iPhone 12 Pro for like an old phone does feel like still pretty fast, but it's still not going to be that close. The iPhone 12 Pro is just going to feel like a substantially slower type of device when it comes down to it. And that is kind of one of the issues that you're going to be experiencing when it kind of comes down to something like an iPhone, 12 Pro. The 17 Pro is substantially faster. So to kind of sum it up, what I definitely will tell you is that without a doubt, I definitely do think something like an iPhone 12 Pro, it is a really good old phone. It's a good phone for how old it is, but the 17 Pro is substantially better in almost every single way. And if you're going to go through and pick up a device, it definitely makes a lot more sense to go through and buy something like an iPhone, 17 Pro, if you have the money. But, there's a lot of other phones in the market. You don't have to just buy an iPhone 17 Pro at $1,100. You can also buy an iPhone 16 Pro and still get a really good phone. You can buy an iPhone 15 Pro and still get a really good phone. You can buy an iPhone 14 Pro and still get a really good phone for a 3-year-old device. So, hopefully if you're going from a 12 Pro, I would even move up to something like a 14 Pro. That phone's going to cost you probably less than half the iPhone 17 Pro, and you're still going to get a really good upgrade from that phone too. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.